In this video, huge news. Ripple and Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple, is suing YouTube. He says, today Ripple and I personally are taking legal action against YouTube. I want to talk about why they are suing YouTube and why this could be a big threat to crypto on YouTube. I also want to continue to talk about the oil price, because the oil price went negative. I'm going to show you this chart of the oil price and the latest development. And I'm also going to show you a platform where you can trade the oil price if you choose to do so. And guys, the Bitcoin price is coiling up for a huge move in the not so distant future. I want to show you the levels that I am watching. And if you think that that sounds interesting, then I think that you should definitely watch this video. Hello guys and welcome to the moon. My name is Carl and I'm here to bring you this cryptocurrency video. And let's take a look at the daily time frame. And what we know, of course, is that the Bitcoin price is going basically sideways for the past few days. And well, low volatility usually means that we're building up for a big move, as I always tell you. And this is something that I want to take a look at now, because you can see that this EMA ribbon on the daily time frame is a very good indicator of bull trends and bear trends and support and resistance on the daily time frame here. For example, we saw this the ribbon act as resistance, but when we broke above it right there, this was a very good buy signal to buy, because we got a nice little bullish trend here, an uptrend. And then of course when we broke down below it here, we saw it now start to act as resistance again, and this was of course once again a good signal to sell, because we did see a huge dump. And currently Bitcoin is testing this very important resistance, but it's not the only resistance that we need to break. We also can see here that this previous support area from way back here, this area acted as support and should now act as resistance, because everything that was previously support will later turn into resistance, and vice versa. So we know that Bitcoin is running into problems right now, even though Bitcoin is currently in an uptrend ever since we saw this big dump. But I mean, ever since we did see this big dump, we haven't seen any follow through at all. We haven't seen any major volatility, simply just a breather. But it is interesting that Bitcoin is running into this resistance, and just like we saw right there, if Bitcoin breaks above this resistance, then I expect a nice bull trend in the next weeks or in the next months, really, because that's basically something we should expect from breaking this key resistance level. But the question is, what happens if Bitcoin is not able to break through and we get rejected by this resistance? Well, let's take a look at what usually happens in a established trend. For example, let's go way back here. We had the ribbon, we saw the Bitcoin price get rejected, but eventually Bitcoin broke through right there. And ever since this point, this ribbon now started to act as support, and Bitcoin went on a very big bull run here. And all of these support areas or rejection areas, if it was the opposite, led to another big run to the upside. So the same should be true, but to the opposite side, right? If we get rejected here, we should expect another run to the downside. And one bearish sign that I can see now is that after getting these higher highs and higher lows, now we have seen, since this point, we've seen a lower high, and that is of course a bearish thing, indicating that maybe this uptrend is running out of steam. But we still have a higher low in relation to the previous low. But if Bitcoin were to get below this low, which is at 6,500 approximately, then that would be yet another bearish sign, basically confirming that we're entering into a short-term downtrend, and this could lead to a bigger sell-off. And guys, remember, the Bitcoin halving is coming up within 20 days. It's getting closer and closer. And remember that my goal is to reach 100,000 subscribers before the halving. So guys, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please go down below this video, click subscribe. I appreciate all of you as my subscribers. I appreciate all of your likes and comments. That really helps out to push the YouTube algorithm, and it makes me also more motivated to make even more amazing videos for you guys. And next up, it is now official that the US Senate will print another 480 billion reasons to buy Bitcoin, or more accurately, they will print $450 billion in a new coronavirus relief package. And we have seen so much currency get printed in the past few months, and I expect this to get even worse. We will see tens of trillions of currency get printed in the coming months and years. And like I always say, every single new dollar printed is another reason to buy Bitcoin. So basically, they are giving us a lot of reasons to buy Bitcoin currently. Next up, let's talk a little bit more about the oil situation, because this is historic in every shape, way, and form. So the US oil's June contract tumbles over 43% to 21-year low as May contract expires at $10 a barrel. So yesterday I made a video about the fact that the May contract went even negative, but then expired at $10 a barrel, and now the next contract, which is June's contract, is already tumbling down, collapsing to a 21-year low. So basically here we can see the oil price on the 4-hourly chart, and this is the historic drop that happened yesterday that everyone was talking about, where oil went even negative, way below zero. And then we saw the June contract open up, and everyone said, well, it's fine, the June contract is up at $20. This was just a small little blip on the radar. However, you can see how the June contract has already, as I am recording this, tumbled down 45, almost 46%. So it's already down half the price, and it already came all the way down to 70% down to the lowest point. And of course, people are expecting this contract to also reach zero or negative, because the problem where there is no storage for oil and there is too much oil, this problem is not going to go away in the next month. We will see the same thing play over and over. There is no demand, and there's too much oil coming up from the ground. And of course, some people still wonder, how can the price go negative? Well, these futures contracts, they are physically settled. So if you hold one of these contracts, when they expire, then you are legally obligated to take delivery of this oil. So if you had a contract worth 500 barrels of oil, then they will come to your door and they will knock on your door and ask you where to put the 500 barrels of oil. And if you can't store it, then you will get sued. And if you deny it, you will get sued. And here is the reason why a price can go negative, because no one wants to deal with the oil, because all of the storage facilities are already full. So no one wants to take the oil because it will just cost a lot of money to store the oil. And this is why we saw this huge bidding war of the price just crashing way below zero, because people panicked and they just simply did not want to hold the contract at the expiry dates. And here I found a very interesting Reddit post from someone who said, I bought oil at negative $32 yesterday and made $26,000 worth of profit, sort of. So he says here that he bought a few contracts worth of this WTICL futures yesterday, and he bought them at the low tick of a negative $32, started taking profits off as it rose, but let one single contract run to negative $4. So he seemed very happy, but of course commenters below here immediately told him that, yeah, well, have fun with your 1,000 barrels of oil, because now you have to accept, you have to take delivery, because that's a part of the contract. You're legally obligated to take delivery when you hold these contracts. And it seemed that the original poster did not understand this, and he got, of course, a little bit anxious in the comment section, asking how to get out of this situation. But in this edit here of this post, the original poster says that he was able to exit his trade due to someone else entering the market and buying his contract, pick attached with final profit. Thank you to all that reached out offering your help to store this product. And now I want to talk about the real threat here, because the fact that oil is low, that's one problem, and that's a problem for the oil companies for obvious reasons. They don't make money off of the oil. And also this means that workers will get laid off and stuff like that. That's the obvious. But what's not very obvious to some people is that these oil companies have hundreds of millions of dollars worth of debt, and all of this debt globally, we're talking about billions of dollars here that are borrowed currency. And This currency was borrowed during the good times when these corporations, these companies should have been saving for a rainy day and not invest recklessly. But these low interest rates and a lot of cheap credit has led these companies into this reckless behavior, just like everyone else. And we can. This is the central bankers' fault, government's fault, who created this environment. But this is a real threat now, because how are they going to pay off this debt? And the even bigger threat here, how are the banks going to cope with this? Because it is the banks who lent out the currency in the first place. Most of this currency is owed to the banks. And if the banks default, then yeah, you guys know the deal. There will be this domino effect of defaults, and eventually the whole world financial system as we know it can collapse, just like it was about to do back in 2008. And this is why I think that this oil story is bigger than most people realize, because this can lead to a big chain reaction, completely crashing the whole economy. And something like this could easily turn into political things like war and uprisings, revolutions, because first of all, oil prices down means that many countries now that are dependent on oil don't make money. That I mean, some countries, they completely depend on oil. This is truly the kind of thing that could turn in. This is truly an event that could turn into a big political uncertainty in the world and ultimately into war. And I would love to know what you guys think. Do you think that the oil price is going to go negative again? Please vote in this poll right now. And by the way, guys, let me remind you that over on Prime XBT, one of my recommended exchanges, you can actually trade oil. If you go here, you can click all markets and you can see all of the different markets. If you click crypto, you have all of these cryptos you can trade. If you click Forex, you can trade these Forex pairs. But here comes the interesting part here. If you click CFDC, you can click crude oil, and basically you can trade oil. And if you go over to a chart and if you enter in crude WTI oil here, then you actually can buy or sell oil over here on Prime XBT. And if you go over here and click promo code on Prime XBT, and if you enter in the code TheMoon25, you will actually get a fee discount of 25% and you will get a 35% deposit bonus. However, to be eligible for this bonus, you need to use my link in the pinned comment. But remember, it doesn't matter if you're trading oil or Bitcoin. This is only for experienced traders, because trading always involves risk. And next up, Ripple is suing YouTube. That is a big story. This is because all of these fake live streams going around where scammers are hacking YouTube accounts and making these fake giveaways where, for example, it seems like Brad or Elon Musk or other big personalities are doing these live streams and doing these giveaways, but it's all fraud, it's all fake. And now Ripple and Brad is fed up with this and is actually going as far as suing YouTube. So he says, across the industry, social media companies have failed to police their platforms from being abused by the entirely preventable imposter giveaways scams. Hundreds of people, including some of you, have been hurt, yet big tech continues to drag their feet. So today, Ripple and I personally are taking legal action against YouTube because their platform is the epicenter for imposter scams, and they've done next to nothing in response to our constant takeaway or takedown requests. Now, this could be a problem for all crypto YouTubers because we already see YouTubers get banned with these strikes and warnings every now and then. Maybe this will get even worse in the future because now that Ripple is suing YouTube, maybe YouTube is going to be even more aggressive with preventing live streams and preventing these scams, and sometimes they accidentally hurt even good players. Like DataDash yesterday got banned, and we've seen basically everyone have gotten a warning or a strike at one point in time, me included. No one has been left outside of this crypto YouTube purge. And before I leave, I just want to recommend you to go and watch this interview I made with Jessica from AIBC. I talked about the negative oil prices, why this is a big threat to the world economy, and why Bitcoin could reach $1 million in the next few years. Make sure to go and watch this video, leave a like on this video, and leave a comment below the video. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to leave a thumbs up, make sure to do it. Let's see if we can push this video to 3,000 likes. That would be amazing. And if you haven't seen this video, then click right there right now, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.